you've been dealing with toxic people are wrong. You think the answer is setting boundaries, cutting them off, avoiding them. I'm going to show you how to take back your power. These toxic people, they're not going anywhere. You cut one out, another one shows up. You avoid them at work, but they're in your family. You think moving cities will help? Nope. Toxic people exist everywhere. So the smartest way to deal with them, it's not about them, it's about you. You stop dealing with toxic people when you stop being available for their poison. In your world, toxic people have one weapon, your reaction. That's it. They don't have real power. They don't have control over your life. They can't actually do anything to you unless you let them into your mind. You snap, break down, or second guess yourself. They feed on your frustration, your anger, your confusion. And the second you give them a reaction, they win. They will test you. They will say things just to get under your skin. They will push every button you have because they are addicted to control. They manipulate, they guilt trip, they twist reality. They are powerless without your response. You need to understand this at a level so deep that it rewires your brain. The moment you stop reacting, you become untouchable. The moment you stop giving them what they want, they lose all influence over you. You ever notice how toxic people keep escalating when you stay calm? That's because they're scrambling. They can feel their grip slipping. But that's when you know you're winning. That's when you stay even calmer. You don't fight back. You don't explain yourself. You don't defend yourself to someone committed to misunderstanding you. Toxic people want chaos. They want drama. They want you emotionally invested in their games. When you stay composed, when you refuse to take the bait, you force them to face the one thing they fear most: their own emptiness. They need someone to fight, someone to prove something to, someone to manipulate. But when you refuse to engage, they are left alone with their own toxicity, and they hate it. You don't need to argue with them. You don't need to prove your point. You don't need to win them over. You win the second you stop letting them control your state of mind. Every time you react, you train them to keep going. You teach them that their tactics work. But the second you stop feeding the fire, it burns out. No fuel, no fire. No reaction, no control. They will try everything to get you to engage. Guilt, anger, pity, provocation. They will dig into your insecurities. They will say things designed to cut deep. But the moment you realize their words are just noise, you stop being affected. It's not about ignoring them. It's about mastering yourself. It's about understanding that their opinion means nothing. Their validation means nothing. The only thing that matters is what you decide to believe. The only thing that affects your life is what you give energy to. They don't make you feel anything. You allow yourself to feel it. They don't put you in a bad mood. You allow them to. And the moment you take back control of your emotions, you become something they can't handle. You're here to master yourself so deeply that no one can shake you. That's how you break free from toxic people, not by cutting them off, not by avoiding them, but by becoming someone who is completely unaffected by them. But the second you decide that their words mean nothing, that their opinions mean nothing, that their validation is worthless, never react. Never let them in. Never let their poison enter your system. Because the moment you do, they own you. But when you don't, when you stay calm, when you refuse to engage, they lose all power. And you take yours back forever. Toxic people don't deserve your energy. They don't deserve your explanations. They don't deserve your emotional investment. Every second you spend trying to fix them, trying to reason with them, trying to get them to understand your side, is a second you'll never get back. And the truth is, they already understand. They know exactly what they're doing. They just don't care. You keep thinking if you just explain it better, they'll finally get it. If you just show them enough love, they'll finally change. If you just put up with them a little longer, they'll finally treat you right. But they won't. They never will. Because toxic people don't want resolution. They don't want peace. They don't want healthy relationships. They want control. They want power. They want you drained, exhausted, questioning yourself. The hardest truth you'll ever accept is that some people are committed to misunderstanding you. And no matter how many times you explain, No matter how much proof you give, no matter how reasonable you are, they will twist your words, play the victim, and make you out to be the problem. You could sit them down with undeniable evidence, and they would still find a way to manipulate the situation in their favor, because they don't want the truth, they want control over you. And the second you realize that, you stop wasting your energy. You stop arguing. You stop trying to change them. You stop expecting them to be someone they're not. You stop hoping that someday they'll wake up and realize what they've done, because that day isn't coming. They are exactly who they want to be, and they have no intention of changing. That's why you have to cut off your energy supply, not just physically, but mentally. Because even if you go no contact, even if you distance yourself, if you're still thinking about them, still replaying conversations in your head, still wondering if you did something wrong, they still own a part of you. And that's exactly what they want. They don't need to be in your life to control you. If they're still living in your mind, they're still winning. The only way to beat them is to make them irrelevant, not by blocking them, not by deleting their number, but by truly not caring anymore. The second you stop giving them energy, they lose all their power. Stop expecting closure. Stop expecting an apology. Stop expecting a moment where they finally admit they were wrong. It's not coming. And even if it did, it wouldn't change anything. Because an apology from someone who doesn't truly care is just another manipulation tactic. They don't apologize because they mean it. They apologize because they want to keep you in their game. And every time you let them back in, you reset the cycle. You don't owe them a conversation. You don't owe them an explanation. You don't owe them one last chance. You owe yourself a life without their chaos. And that starts the moment you stop feeding them your attention. Toxic people can't survive without an audience. They need someone to manipulate. They need someone to control. They need someone to react to them. They try harder to pull you back in. But if you stay firm, if you refuse to engage, they eventually move on to someone else. Because here's the truth, these people don't target everyone. They don't treat everyone the way they treat you. They choose their victims carefully. They choose people who are empathetic, who are kind, who want to see the best in others. They choose people who are willing to give second chances, who don't want to seem like the bad guy, who struggle with letting go. That's why it's so hard for you to break free. Because they've trained you to feel guilty for putting yourself first. But you don't owe them anything. You don't owe them your time. You don't owe them your kindness. You don't owe them a space in your life just because of history or family ties or social pressure. You are allowed to walk away. You are allowed to choose yourself. You are allowed to let them go without guilt. And the moment you do, you'll realize something incredible. Toxic people survive by making you believe that you can't live without them, that you need their validation, their approval, their presence. They want you to think that leaving them means losing something valuable. But what are you really losing? The drama? The endless emotional exhaustion? The constant feeling of never being good enough? That's not a loss. That's a victory. You don't need their permission to move on. You don't need their approval to be free. You don't need to justify why you're done. The only thing you need to do is decide that their role in your story is over, that they no longer get access to your energy. When you stop feeding toxic people, they disappear. When you stop investing in their chaos, they lose all power over you. Toxic people think they've won. But what they don't realize is that every ounce of suffering they put you through can become the exact thing that makes you unstoppable. Take every insult, every betrayal, every manipulation, and turn it into fuel. Because the truth is, toxic people don't break strong people. They create them. They wanted you stuck in a cycle of proving yourself to them. But now they don't matter. Because the one thing they never wanted was for you to realize your own power. Toxic people don't choose weak victims. They go after people with potential. People with light. People who have something they lack. They see something in you: strength, resilience, kindness, ambition, and they try to destroy it. Because your existence reminds them of what they are not. And now you are someone they will never have access to again. Someone who doesn't even need revenge, because success is enough. They don't get to steal any more of your time. They don't get to haunt your thoughts. They don't get to be the reason you hold back. Every moment spent thinking about them is a moment wasted on someone who is never worth it. The best thing you will ever do is make them irrelevant. The truth is, they were never your competition. They were just a distraction. Your real competition is the old you. The version of you that tolerated them. The version of you that questioned your worth. The version of you that stayed too long in places that drained you.